Warning, this video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and
Welcome, everyone. Are you ready for the movie madness? Are you mad about movies? There's not much to be mad about because they're all delayed. I mean, I guess you could be mad that they're delayed, but
everything's delayed. So let's get upset about that.
Well, I did make a thumbnail. Christopher Barker's already hot in the chat. Here's the thumbnail. Yes, Disney has something to worry about. They're losing their momentum definitely with all this stuff. We're gonna react to a Grace Randolph video, and I'm not rooting against Disney. Like I don't know how you are, Zod Rider, about the MCU and Disney movies.
Well, I will be honest. I'm not really an MCU fan. I mean, as you could tell, I'm primarily DC. So for me, I could take or leave the MCU as a whole. And I'm one of those people who believes that Marvel kind of blew their load with Endgame, and now they don't really have anything left to go to. So,
the problem is they could have eased people into new content, new characters, but there's this huge, gigantic gap between projects.
Well,
and because it's, and I talked about this in other.
Are we excited about WandaVision or are we not?
Well, no, you can't be because it's delayed. Right. I mean, that's the point. They're so intertwined. Kevin Feige, for better or for worse, made them so reliant on each other that they can't even release some of these Marvel shows because the movie counterparts aren't ready that are going to tie into the movies. So I think they have it designed. From what I've heard, we don't know for sure until we see it, but they're designed to watch the show and then get you to the theater to see something that's not like a big plot line, but maybe something that's alluded to in the show. Go see Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. But they didn't shoot it yet. And the show's kind of done. It's like a weird DC is really going to take advantage of this. Everything is going DC's way. And I'm not saying it because I'm against Marvel. I want Marvel to succeed too. But for better or for worse, for what happened in the DC EU universe with productions being hijacked, they have the content there ready. And then they could ease right into Flashpoint, right into Black Adam. It's like a beautiful scenario. Not that anything's great about all these delays and stuff, but man, is it a good scenario for DC? And also their cons. Listen, Disney did not want to announce that these shows are going to be delayed until now. I think we all knew it was coming. They waited till the last moment. What are they going to have for Disney Plus?
A lot of people canceling their subscriptions.
I'm dead serious. You don't think Disney's is in trouble? They are. And I don't want to say that lightly. Like, I don't want people to lose their jobs. I boycotted Disney when they had all the money. But now when there's a big gap, they're not having a constant influx of funds. They're holding movies hostage that are done.
I think they need to open the vault, man, and let out some of this older content that they've been sitting on. I mean, think about it. Disney owns so much that they could release it. They could dump it on Disney Plus to entice people to stay on board. I think that's what it's gonna come down to. And as far as holding back all this material that they have that they don't want to release because of movie theaters and stuff, I think it's time to take the Band-Aid off and face the reality that movie theaters are not coming back anytime soon. They need to stop. They need to stop screwing around and just put this stuff out.
They need to experiment with a wanted release. Like, no one was really looking forward to Artemis Fowl. I'm sorry. Right. Hamilton was more prevalent and popular years ago. I don't think it would have. I think it would have got critical praise if they released it in the theater, but I don't think anyone was really. But what else is there? I mean, thank God they have Mandalorian season 2. But then after that,
but think about it. They could take Black Widow. They could dump that on Disney Plus. That'll boost subscriptions. They could take that Mulan movie finally and dump that on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
That'll boost subscriptions. They've got, the thing is, and this is the thing.
But then if the movie theaters,
content,
if the movie theaters come back, they're not going to have anything to release it then.
But the movie theaters aren't coming back. That's the thing.
In next summer.
Well, yeah, they've got their next.
They're not going to have anything. That's going to be like 2 years at the theater if they do. I mean, they're in a tough situation. I think people are going to start to get mad though with paying a subscription for nothing. There's nothing there.
Oh yeah, you're gonna at some point. You're just gonna unless you're loyal to Disney and you want to have access to all the content, the Star Wars content and the Marvel stuff. If you're just a diehard and you want to be able to go to that and you like watching Hamilton over and over again, you'll continue to stay subscribed to Disney Plus and just to support it. But see, the thing is, I don't think Disney Plus has the built-in staying power fan base that, like, say, for example, all the goodwill that AT&T got with HBO Max when they announced the Snyder Cut. Diehards like me are going to stay loyal to HBO Max no matter what. I mean, ride or die. HBO Max has a built-in installed fan base that is never going to go anywhere.
Well, you get all that HBO content in case you're new.
Yeah,
I mean, there's stuff there, but if you've been a diehard HBO fan, they have a similar situation. But I think there's more fresh people to the HBO content. If you haven't subscribed to HBO and you get HBO Max for the DC content coming, there's so much content sitting there with shows.
Yes, and they keep improving it. It's like every time I go on the HBO Max and check it, they add even more stuff. They've got so much on there already, and they're just going to continue to build. It's going to be incredible. I don't know. I think Disney Plus. Yeah, I think they're in a bit of a catch-22. And I think
Disney altogether, because the parks if they're opening now, but there's so few. I mean, it probably costs more to have staff and run the parks than the people. I mean, I don't expect to be making much.
Well, I mean, it's like the movie theaters too. I mean, when they really make their money is when they're a packed house. You know what I mean? It's that more concessions, more everything. So having less people come in spending money, you're gonna have less money to pay your employees to actually work the.
Well, here's the point. Here's what people really don't see: the shocking situation that Disney is in. They spent so much with Fox and Disney. I mean, Fox and Marvel, and Lucasfilm, getting all those, and then how much money they were making at the box office the previous year. It was their best year ever. Box office. I got to look up how much billions they've made at the box office, and then to nothing at the box office. Nothing. You need that money to come in to get your other product, and then also the parks. Those parks make a lot of money. And then there's nothing on Disney Plus. There's nothing there. I mean, thank God for Netflix. Netflix, because they don't have the theater focus, man, there's still new stuff coming out. I got to watch The Old Guard. I got to watch Extraction, because I also saw that Extraction with Chris Hemsworth is one of their best, highly rated, not like reviewed, but like most watched original films ever. And then The Old Guard is too. And then they released another series. And then don't forget about Warrior Nun. Please don't forget about that. I keep saying that every once in a while.
Let's just theoretically, let's think about this. If theaters don't open up soon, like for example, I read an article a couple days ago where there was a projection where they said that movie theaters won't really be ready to open in any kind of capacity until mid 2021 at the earliest.
Yeah.
So if you look at it that way, and you don't really have any theaters, are you just going to sit on all your big content until that possibly happens, or are they gonna eventually just bite the bullet so that they don't keep losing money on projects that they've already made?
I think they should take half their slate, save half, take half, or something like that.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, I think for them to successfully say, okay, we're going to release something here, they have to see how it goes, and then they have to make sure new productions are getting started and that they're going safely. Like not all of a sudden an outbreak on a production. They have to see how it goes, because if they release it and then the production gets shut down because there's a scare and an outbreak, then they're not going to have anything when the theaters come back.
It doesn't help, and it doesn't help that cases in the United States are on the rise.
Yeah,
I think what we're going to start to see is a combination of studios taking risks where they're putting their stuff out theatrically internationally, and they're going to in places where the virus is kind of curbed, and then you're going to start to see a little bit more liberty being taken with some of these movies for video on demand, so that they don't continue to lose money on these products.
If it doesn't get back to where it was before they started reopening states, and it's like September, and we're still in this limbo, they have to release something.
They do. Yeah, they have no choice.
They need some
they
money
have no choice.
earnings.
Trolls proved.
Yeah,
and Trolls isn't like the biggest movie in the world, but Trolls proved that movie studios could make a huge profit off of video on demand. It was proof positive. Now, of course, Trolls got Universal in trouble with the movie theater chains. However, it proved that movie studios don't really need the movie theaters to continue to make profits off of their first run films. I mean, honestly, if you look at that movie and you look at how much money that movie made, I mean, they were able to not only rake in rentals and sales, and it was a huge party.
People made fun of me, and when I was saying this is one to look out for, I'm like, this is the first like big not that it's huge box office, but a big event film for kids that they're just going to go straight to VOD, and it is important. And the theater owners push back, and that's why no one else came forward.
Yeah, no one's doing. You know what's going to happen?
They're not going to boycott Universal if they come back.
This is my prediction for that. What's going to happen? And this is what I see happening, and I know there's people out there that are going to disagree with me. But you know what I think is going to happen? If this doesn't, they're not, Warner Brothers, for example, they're not going to wait until 2021 to release Tenet. I'm telling you right now, if there's no theaters in another,
he has in his contract or something. He's not letting it. He's going straight to theater.
They are gonna one of these big studios, and it may not be Warner Brothers, but one of these big studios is gonna say, to hell with it, and they're just going to take one of their big movies and they're going to drop it on VOD. Well, when it happens, and when it's a big smash and it's a big hit, you're going to see other studios following suit. It's going to happen. All it's going to take is one big movie, whether it be the new James Bond movie,
whoever does it's going to make them. Whoever breaks that like a scab situation, crossing the picket line to release your film. Whoever does it first, they're going to make so much money. Whoever does it first. I'm talking about the big movies. Like,
here's
Here's
an idea about Black Widow, though. For example, it's one of those movies where you don't really want to lose the rolling enthusiasm towards it, because if you do, you're probably going to lose, more than just that. What I would suggest is maybe putting it on Disney Plus, but charging an additional price to watch it. So you're already paying for Disney Plus, but $10.99.
Do a Disney Plus premium or something for theater releases. I would do it,
or just a per movie basis where it's about the same price as a movie ticket. I mean, because like I said, you don't want to lose that enthusiasm for that movie. And not to be perfectly honest,
I think it's gone.
I'm not necessarily looking for. I wasn't looking.
I mean, I
forward
want to. I'll see it. I'll pay for it. But I'm like,
Yeah, I'm not-
Well, yeah, but that's the whole thing. The only thing
I'll
stopping
get to the
these
chat in a moment,
studios,
guys.
the only thing stopping these studios from going full, balls to the wall video on demand right now is because of the deals they have in place with movie theaters. They know that the relationship with movie theaters right now is fractured because of what happened with Universal. But the point is, if this pandemic continues to eat up time the way that it has, all bets are going to be off pretty soon. Because you have to remember, they're not going to be sitting on this.
Even before this,
right, exactly. But they're not going to be sitting on this. They're not going to be like, well, gee, we saw what happened with Trolls World Tour. Are we going to sit here and sit on these big movies when we could release it on demand and we could make all this money by going direct to consumer? It's just stupid and ludicrous not to do it.
It has to be the right price point, and it has to be a limited window. It can't be like 24 hours, 48 hours. It's got to be like
right. You do a limited window.
6,
you charge, but think about it. If you charge, for example, let's just use Christopher Nolan's new movie, for example. If they took Christopher Nolan's movie and said, okay, we're going to charge $40 for a rental, VOD, video on demand, you don't think that all the people that would be willing to go to the movie theater and see that would shell out $40 to watch it at home? Honestly, you're gonna get a lot of people that do that, and I know what other people will say.
They're
going to
be like deals and everything.
They're going to say, but Zod, what you're not understanding is once they release it on VOD, it's going to get ripped and it's going to get thrown on the internet and it's going to be available for piracy. But I look at it like this: piracy is, you cannot count the people that are going to pirate these movies in those totals anyway, because if you pirate, that's what you do. You were never going to pay to go see this movie, so you can't count those people in the totals. You have to count the people who are going to support these movies, who love these movies, who love these filmmakers, and want to pay to see these products.
Most people just pirate to pirate. They're not
right. They're not going to see the movies anyway. They're not going to see all the people that complained about Batman v Superman and talked about how, it's such a horrible movie, how Zack Snyder screwed up the DCEU. Those people didn't pay to see those movies. Those people pirated that movie and watched it at home. They didn't go to pay to see it. Listen, when you pay to see movies and you're a movie lover and you're not gonna pirate. You're not gonna be tempted to pirate. You don't care. And what the video on demand and the all these streaming services are proving is that people will pay for the content that they care about, and that's what studios need to bank.
Especially they're stuck at home. I can't believe
you can't go anywhere anyway.
Perfect storm for a major release like Trolls made it. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness, I would run it a couple times, I think. Okay, so let's get some of the chat, and then we're gonna listen to Grace. See what she says. Jason Ellis says WandaVision isn't delayed. The writer said it was a typo. Falcon and Winter Soldier is up in the air, I guess. I think that it's going to be delayed. I really believe it. We'll have to see what Grace says. Here's what Matt Jarbo says. Disney allowed Empire Strikes Back to re-release in drive-ins, and it was a #1 at the box office. The Vault is the best way to go right now. Yeah, but I think a lot of stuff from the Vault's already on there. What else do they have?
Yeah, there's only so much. I mean, other than maybe releasing Fox content, but I mean,
the fact that they haven't released Fox content is baffling too.
Yeah, well,
like that's insane that they're letting
Alien,
the Fox
Predator,
library
Die Hard, Kingsman, Deadpool.
Well, I just don't see Die Hard or Predator or anything like that.
Well, they did put the Fox X-Men movies on recently.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What the Randy Taylor? What the hell? I'm blocking you. You're spamming. What the hell, man? I didn't even see that. I was way back in the chat. Hold on a second. You messed up my. Okay. I could see VOD, but not streaming service. Streaming is the future. Yeah, I'm all about streaming. I actually prefer it. I really do. And I used to be day one theater goer.
Oh yeah.
Me and my wife were day two. We saw everything day one. and I just don't care anymore.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you're a movie lover, you're gonna pay. You're gonna be willing to support this content. It's not even an issue. I don't, that's why when people bring up piracy, I just kind of snicker a little bit, because I'm like, the people bringing up piracy are probably the same fools who are pirating. So I mean, I don't understand it. I'm just like, whatever, dude. If that's what you're gonna do, that's what you're gonna do.
Hey. If Black Widow, Milan, and Quiet Place, Wonder Woman, etc. don't come out this year, I think they'll have to go to VOD.
Yeah, because what happens is the longer they delay and the more that they push back these movies, the more money they lose.
Did New Mutants, did I hear right that it's finally going to come to VOD? Did someone
finally?
No, I think I saw some. They released a new trailer, but I'm not sure.
The funny question, Tim, the funniest thing that came out was, I think last year somebody tweeted out, what's gonna get released first, the Snyder Cut or New Mutants?
Yeah.
That thing got delayed so many times.
I want to see that movie, but I'm not going to rush to the theater to see it. I'll pay VOD. I'm not risking myself for New Mutants. I don't want to become one myself. No, that's a bad joke. All right, didn't Universal already drop stuff? Yeah, Trolls. They
dropped Trolls.
Oh, and didn't they do the Invisible Woman or something? But that did get a release. I think that's the. Disney.
And that made a lot of money too when they dropped Invisible Man or whatever the heck it was. That was actually a good example. But see, that had already started getting a theatrical run, and then the pandemic hit and it kind of derailed it a little bit. But yeah, video on demand is fine for now.
He's dropping some real truth here. Okay, the Truth 30. You'd rather watch that than the actual film? Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Truth.
Well, I mean, that might actually get released. I didn't know there was one. I mean, I guess there is of everything.
More than likely.
Yeah. They could do Disney 2 months of VOD, then Disney Plus after. They should test it with Mulan. They were expecting that to be big in China.
I could see if they dropped Mulan on VOD for a couple of weeks and then dropped it on Disney Plus, I could see it being a massive hit for them.
Well, Curtis Schultz has a good question here. Who has $40 for a movie, especially every week? That's nuts.
No, but that's just an example.
Taking into consideration for gas, at least a couple going, some concessions.
I dropped 40 on myself. Yeah.
It's cheap.
Yeah,
it depends where you live.
People don't realize how much money do you drop in a day on.
It depends where you live, because
incidental stuff. Yeah.
Because movie theaters where there's cities where there's a high population, their tickets are expensive. They're like $20 easily.
You got to go to dinner. I mean, you got to make a night out of it. I mean,
right.
Who just goes to a movie anymore?
Oh, Jeffrey says tweet at me, Jeffrey. I'll send you a link. Jeffrey says he's available. Hopefully he still is. Right I don't know how long ago I sent you. Oh, here. Yeah, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, you're always welcome. I want to get your friend Strong Arm Flicks on here too. Every once in a while I see from him. Greetings, Ambassador. You could come on too, Ambassador. I forgot to send you a link. Hold on. Sending links.
Not a worry. The more the merrier.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Not last week. No, not last week.
Yeah, right.
Hold on. I'm trying to find the ambassador. Damn it. Where? I have a lot of Twitter people I send stuff to. Hold on. And then we're going to get to. I also wanted to go on, get twitching later and watch some trailers and funny stuff. I forgot to tell people to find funny stuff. I'll tell you what. Oh, here you are, Ambassador. Here you are. All right. Sorry, Jeffrey, if you're there. Hey, Jeffrey.
Hey.
How's it going?
Jeffrey.
What's up?
Nothing. How are you?
All right, man. We're talking about DC and how Disney and MCU could be in trouble. And I'm not against the MCU. It's just that everything's so closely tied together. They're holding their movies hostage that are done, like Black Widow, and their shows like WandaVision is so closely tied to Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness and stuff that there's probably going to they're getting delayed. That's why I mean, did they Comic-Con? What did they have a Disney event D23 planned and that was canceled too? I don't know if they were doing that this summer. But they're quietly not saying anything because they know. I think all they got going is Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah, because really, I think the main problem is not having to do with the studios themselves. I think it has to do with the theaters, because here's something that a lot of people don't know, and and I'm gonna use Trolls 2 as an example. You know how the theaters are mad about Trolls 2 immediately going to streaming?
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's why. Apparently, the reason why that is because the theaters signed a contract with Universal to have Trolls 2 being in theaters, and when Universal put it into streaming, that's why the theaters were mad, because the studio broke the contract. So really, I think it's not really the studio's fault for keeping them hostage. I think it's really kind of like that contract that they have.
All right. Well, that one, Carlos, has a good segue because we're going to watch a video, Jeffrey. We're going to watch Grace Randolph. I think I heard WandaVision was delayed until spring 2021. Not sure anyone know. Let's find out. Let's bring this up here. Hold on a second. Oh, wait. Was this the right one? Darn it. Yeah, this is it. This is it. I forgot to turn the volume up. Uh-oh, Grace's full volume.
It's all right. I'm warming up to Grace, you know?
Yeah, she her voice is like cut through you sometimes, though. I'm not going to lie.
Heard of a cluster? Well,
whoa!
Disney Plus shows. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, I told you. Didn't I say this before she said this video?
Sure you panic clicked on the thumbnail. But anyway, we just finished discussing in the live stream how Falcon and the Winter Soldier seems to be delayed. But
wow,
again,
she said a cluster.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Feige surprises everyone on July 30th when the NBA 2020 season kicks off at Disney World with a trailer for Falcon and the Winter Soldier and says, surprise, it's dropping August 21st, the same weekend as DC Fandom. Totally sounds like something Kevin Feige would do. I'm not going to be
just to stick it to DC.
Maybe. That's all they got as a surprise. I think.
But if we have to wait a bit for Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
WandaVision's more likely to be delayed for
reporter and an article about
Doctor Strange
directors who we're going to talk about, putting an aside that WandaVision is set for spring 2021. What now? Not December, as fans had hoped and been told. Although I have to say that makes sense considering Doctor Strange 2 has been delayed a year to 2022. Also, timing. You have to keep in mind that, a Disney Plus series, since they air weekly, they take about 2 months to go. So they have to I don't think they want to have overlap because, Netflix offers binge watching. So they can really stack them up really close together.
A panel on the 22nd, Aladdin.
Breathe, not only because they want to make sure they don't compete with each other for media.
I didn't know. I forgot that was coming up. That's coming up shortly.
So they want to spread it out as much as possible.
My birthday.
Hey, he is a
Mandalorian, which is supposed to be for October. Well, Falcon and the Winter Soldier's delay maybe move Mando a bit.
This is a good comment right here. It's a good observation. Not even a trailer for these shows that are supposed to be out later this year. We are half a year out. No hype being built. That's a good indicator. That one, Carlos. There should, if this stuff would be coming out.
Oh yeah,
there'd be trailers for people to buy Disney Plus. They're not putting it out those trailers to get people to be Disney, because then first thing customers are going to do, it's not here. They can't do it. That's a huge indicator. Huge. I think we'll have to wait until, like you said, the panel 2020. The 22nd of July, Comic-Con at Home. That's coming right before Justice Con, I think.
Yeah, actually, it's both before and during, because they both of them last through because Justice Con goes through the 25th and 26th, and that's at like the end, at the edge of Justice Con. I mean, San Diego Comic-Con.
All right. Yeah. So let's see what else she has to say. But delay. Cluster F.
Now, of course, WandaVision.
She sounds real low in this video.
Would also get pushed.
Did she get a new microphone?
Yeah.
That means she's watching your videos, Mac.
Yeah.
Like I said, a real coronavirus.
Oh,
Basically, these MCU Disney Plus shows coming
Some
soon,
salty
but
language
only
tonight.
Kevin Feige really knows when.
Grace Randolph is
Hopefully,
bae.
He'll give us some answers during the NBA 2020 season, which is a very weird bit of synergy.
That's next weekend, I believe.
They're going to be airing a lot of Marvel trailers during that time to make sure that it's a big event.
Well, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel didn't even start. Neither did Hawkeye. I mean, Hawkeye's the closest to getting the production. I don't know about What If.
Pinned to the top of the comments.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Iron Wolf.
Anyway, some good news is that another Disney Plus show is moving ahead ever so slowly, but it's moving. Hawkeye. We have a pulse. I can't believe it. I know. Apparently, Kevin Feige feels good about the recent Jeremy Renner controversies, although he did stick with James Gunn as well. So they hired some directors. The way it works
I wouldn't
on the
read it
show,
like
is that you
that,
have
but
a-
okay.
you have a showrunner who's typically the person who does the series Bible and most of the writing, and oversees it. And then you have different writers and directors because it's so long.
Oh, people
nobody
are
can
happy
write
about the
whole
volume of Grace.
thing.
Okay.
That very rarely happens, like Mike Flanagan for The Haunting.
No
of
longer
Hill House,
interested.
but it's
MCU lost
very
its
rare.
spark
Even
since
follow
late
up for Netflix,
2019.
other directors in to work
Yeah,
with.
the DC. This
I
needs
kind of
to.
feel that way too,
Bigger names
honestly.
and stuff to do.
Well, I have no interest in
So,
a Hawkeye
they have
movie
these
either. I mean,
directors, and as you can
I
see,
want to
again,
see
they're
Hawkeye
usually one of
series.
them,
I like him.
although it's nice to see
well,
some
a series.
directors
Oh, okay,
hired.
series. I didn't see
They're
that.
clearly
Yeah, the
comedy
series.
directors. Now, that should be no surprise to anyone who's read Matt Fraction's Hawkeye Run, which this show is clearly based on, down to its logo. I think it's actually very nice to see these directors hired because I'm glad to see they're going to keep.
I don't know who the hell these directors are. I just want to see the series.
Very comedic, like really comedic.
What the
It
hell?
would be great for Renner, who's been consistently benched, I would say, throughout the movies. They got to make fun of his endgame mohawk. That's great. I would check out the Matt Fraction run if you want to get an idea what the series is going to be like. And then that really changed how the character was portrayed in Marvel Comics. And Matt Rosenberg, another Matt Rosenberg, picked it up where Matt Fraction left off and wrote two really good Hawkeye comics that I would also recommend. Tales of Suspense, where Hawkeye teams up with Winter Soldier. Very good to help to look.
Zod Rider's awfully quiet during this segment.
And then also he recently did Free
I'm
Fall,
just listening.
which I love. That was a great comic
Yeah.
too. That's
Free-
a Hawkeye movie that you can pick up right now. And apparently Haley Steinfeld is still in it to win it, as when Hollywood Reporter reached out to Marvel for comment on her status of her contract, they would not give one. So they, that means they're not willing to say if the deal is completed, if they're still in talks, or if Haley Steinfeld had to drop out. Because remember, there was a potential.
What was she going to
conflict
be?
Because Hawkeye was delayed, but now everybody's got delays.
I do believe that she was going to be Hawkeye's
Marvel
daughter.
Grace with Sony, I'm sure
Oh.
would like her to play their live-action Spider-Gwen since she voices the character in Into the Spider-Verse. Boy, that Kevin Feige, I told you, he looks like a choir boy, but he's really, really sneaky. And he's, snagging Haley Steinfeld, who's clearly should be Spider-Gwen for Amy
No
Pascal.
idea about that.
Kevin Feige gets there first. Amy Pascal better come up with a darn good deal for Haley Steinfeld to get her to stick around. She should. I don't know. Although I think she'd be a great Spider-Gwen, quite frankly, but she's so perfect as Kate Bishop. I'm just glad they're not going with streaming's go-to actress right now.
Oh yeah, I'm getting
Kendrick.
sorry,
I
Anna
think
Kendrick.
because
I'm
I
getting
love-
sick of
You
her.
have to admit,
Yeah,
that
she's
she's
everywhere.
The actress Hollywood would usually cast in the Kate Bishop role, and it would be a bad idea. Haley Steinfeld is pretty much perfect for the role. And again, as I also reported, and you want to check out this video, it's down below as well. But just to paraphrase, I heard that for Young Avengers,
MC
Kate
Young
Bishop will lead the
Avengers.
team.
Oh,
She's
okay.
the only member of the group. both
They're gonna
in
do
the
that?
context of the
That-
show or movie. They're going to be everywhere, basically. But also as an actor who's not an actual teenager.
All this
So,
MCU
again,
stuff is
check
so
out that
far
video
away.
down
We're
below.
just not
So
going to
how
get
do you
it.
feel about the MCU Disney Plus shows? What do you think about this?
It's a cluster.
Coronavirus fuck that they find
Okay.
themselves in? Do you think there's any potential workaround? And what do you think they're going to do? Share your thoughts down below. Subscribe
I think
today.
they're screwed.
Okay.
Yeah.
More videos
Let me
right
go
now.
into detail on this one.
Okay.
Let me go into detail on this show by show. So, can you pull up the delayed shows real quick? So,
Oh no, that was a video. I don't have it.
I know.
Oh, I have this image here.
Yeah.
WandaVision.
Okay. So yeah, here's what I think is going to happen for the delayed shows. For WandaVision, I'm gonna keep it real. I think that it might last maybe a season at best.
Oh, you're throwing heat.
No, because here's why. I the best that it's going to do is possibly explore their own multiverse before Doctor Strange 2, which I gotta say honestly, I'm not looking forward to that. The only Phase 4 movie I'm looking forward to is honestly Shang-Chi, mainly because
Iron Wolf put Shang-Chi. I'd like to see that too. No,
mainly,
yeah, I like
That's
Shang-Chi.
a porno.
Everyone says Kate Bishop. Kate Bishop for Haley Steinfeld.
But yeah, really, I gotta say for most of the Marvel shows, I think they're not going to do very well. The main two series that I think are going to do well is Hawkeye and Loki. I honestly
what about
don't.
Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
That's the one I'm looking for. Too.
I'm gonna be honest. I honestly here's the thing. I honestly think they have good chemistry, but until they come up with a good plot that doesn't really go through the whole black man can't be Captain America thing. If that's not the plot, like if they go through the black man can't be Captain America plot, I think that moot show is going to be a failure right there. So really,
well, I mean, it's Marvel. Of course, it's going to be a failure.
Well, I mean, it kind of feels at this point like they're scraping the bottom of the barrel. You know, what's next? Like a Pepper Potts series or something? You know, like
oh yeah. Actually,
of,
to be honest, you suggesting a Pepper Potts series that probably would be the biggest hit that they would have because you'd have they could make it like a sitcom and have a bunch of old ladies watching it.
I'm looking forward to these shows. Everyone here, I'm looking forward to it. I think they'll all be successful. It's just they can't release them, a lot of them yet.
Well, the thing is, I feel like I'm just tired of waiting. It's like, release this shit already. I mean,
I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is the most complete. I think.
I'll agree on that. I'll agree on that.
It's good. I just want to point out to the Brian, Loki hasn't filmed yet.
Loki hasn't filmed yet. Okay.
Oh, so that little skip thing was probably a behind the scenes, like early footage skinny thing right there.
Oh, Iron Wolf has. I did not know about this. I just hate the name of the channel because I also cover the Leaky Peacock. Dumbcock. Iron Wolf says NBC Peacock is free with ads. They don't even ask for credit card info, which is good. That is amazing. I didn't think anyone did that.
Yeah, but see, a lot of their shows, a lot of their like premium stuff. If you want to see their premium stuff, you got to sign up for premium. They've got a bunch of old stuff that you can watch that doesn't have ads, but then all like the really good stuff that they paid money for, they want you to pay money for. So, yeah.
He really wants Geeks Cosmics Entertainment really wants X-Men the MCU already.
Yeah. And here's the thing about the X-Men, and I gotta say, really, with I think the whole Deadpool drama is also a key factor into this.
Yeah.
Because we do know that Disney Plus has all the X-Men shows on X-Men movies on there, pretty much, and really we go into Deadpool 3 drama, which is like Disney doesn't want to make it rated R Deadpool movie, and
they're really blocking that from being done. They're like not talking about it all, not addressing it at all. Like they talk about possible X-Men, but they really did that franchise wrong. Everyone's fears about Deadpool once Disney bought the Fox properties is legit. It's not happening anytime soon, and Ryan Reynolds is moving on, really.
Yeah, because really, like, think about it like this, where for me, like, you titled the video DC EU versus MCU, when really how I look at it, and I've been saying this a lot off of YouTube, this is actually going to be the first time I say it on YouTube, where I think it's really kind of going to be like where Disney is going this monopoly route with buying pretty much everything.
They can't do it anymore, though.
But I'm just saying, if they still are manageable to do it, then I still theorize. I still think that the last studio at this point would really take a stand against Disney would really be either Sony or Warner Brothers, and it's really looking like it's going to be Warner Brothers because
thank goodness Sony still has the Spider-Man. It would drive me crazy if Disney owns Spider-Man too, because I like what they're doing. Venom wasn't the best, but I like Morbius.
That's the thing we have to worry about, though. Don't you have to worry about the concept of Disney just swooping up eventually and just buying out Sony too?
Not as much as we used to.
Yeah, exactly. The fear isn't as heavy, but
the problem is they just got to constantly make Spider-Man movies, or they lose the license then automatically. Anyway, I mean, you're never going to hear.
Yes. Yeah, because really, I talk to people about this all the time, where I say Disney made Spider-Man Iron Man Jr. essentially. Like, if you really think about it, all of his villains in the MCU so far has only been because Iron Man was involved in some way, and it's like the son has to right the wrongs of the father, sort of thing. Like, am I the only one who sees that?
No, exactly. That, especially with Far From Home. I mean, that basically what that movie was about.
She-Hulk and Moon Knight. I'm looking forward to She-Hulk. I don't know that much about Moon Knight, I'll be honest. We got a Twitch.
From what I heard people say about him, people from depending on who you ask, but it always comes down to he's basically like Marvel's version of either Deathstroke or Batman.
More like Batman, only psychotic.
Okay. Oh, okay, cool. I like that. The Jackson 81 Star Trek Lower Decks. I haven't checked it out. Brian, master of Star Trek.
I've seen the trailer a couple times. It looks really, really good. It looks pretty funny. I've seen some.
Wait! You're a Star Trek fan, and you're saying Lower Decks looks really good?
Yeah. Well,
really, dude? Like, I mean, wow, bro.
Well,
Brian, what have you been smoking?
Let him speak.
I'm just gonna say, first off,
let him speak, haters.
All the negativity towards Star Trek, I don't care.
It's
you know what I mean?
Leaky Peacock.
I'm to the point. I used to be part of the whole Doomcock fandom and this bullshit. Okay, especially with regards to Star Trek. The thing about Star Trek that really bothers me the most is that it's the one show that taught me to have an open mind.
Yeah.
Okay. And the fact that nobody has an open mind with regards to new Trek, and they don't even give it a chance.
Yeah.
They just get all over it before they even watch it. Yeah. That's where I have a problem. And that was like that with Discovery. It was like that with Picard. And I'm sure it's going to be like that with this new show. So, I mean, sorry if I get a little amped up about it, but that's kind of how I feel about it. Don't judge it until it comes out.
Right.
And don't judge it unless you actually watch the crap.
I've watched all of it, and the thing is, with Lower Decks, I mean, the only thing we have to go on right now is the trailers, the information that they've provided so far,
Mm-hmm.
and what they've provided so far as a Star Trek fan, it just looks so. It's like, to me, it's the one thing Star Trek that they've put out that is absolutely cringe just by the previews.
Oh,
I don't like for me, I'm not one of those people that goes out there and hates on Discovery,
fun
and
to me.
hates on Picard, and hates on that. Sure, I have my issues with those. I have my issues with those series.
Well,
but
we're gonna watch
I
the
don't-
trailer on Twitch in a few minutes.
I
when we
just,
switch
as
to Twitch.
a Star Trek fan, if you want to do an animated series like that and you want to inject humor, that's fine. But Star Trek was always about finding the humor within the situations, not being like this Lower Deck show kind of looks like it's going to be a parody of itself,
or lowbrow kind of thing.
And if they're going to do that, if they're going to make Lower Decks a parody of Star Trek, like a parody of itself, then they should make that clear that that's what it is, and not stamp a name on it as though it's actually going to be something that's going to be canonical. And that's kind of where I am with it. I'm just sort of,
I'm going to watch Discovery. I bought.
This is the thing. The first season. I mean, Discovery is, for me, Discovery is hit and miss. If you take it for what it is, you can enjoy bits and pieces of it but if you start trying to connect it to things and you start trying to make it appear and feel like it's part of original Star Trek, then that's where you start to have issues.
But
the Jackson 81.
But that's what I'm starting to have issues with, though. Is people are putting way too much stock in what canon is, especially for a show that was basically.
There's been so many series of Star Trek. I think you should do something new each time. Like there's series for everybody.
Sure. Doing something new is how it should be. If you're gonna explore something new and you're gonna do something fresh and new that we haven't seen before, that's great. But my biggest issue is when they go back and then they try to rehash things and they try to sort of superimpose it onto stuff that's already happened when they don't really have to do that. Like, my biggest bone of contention with Discovery was having it take place in the time period that they had to take place in the first place. Why not have it take place in the future? Have it take place after Star Trek Voyager. Then you don't have any of the continuity issues or any of those little things that are going to bother diehard fans. That's where I'm at when it comes to these new shows.
And I think some of the other things that we have to let go of is the fact that they are trying to introduce this to a wider audience.
But that's where I think they're making their mistake. Star Trek. When you make Star Trek, don't you want to make Star Trek?
But
First and foremost for the people that love Star Trek, and then you build off of that. If you alienate the people that love Star Trek, it's just a new property. Call it something else.
But every time they do that, they alienate the core fans because they don't like it.
We'll get to you, Jeffrey. We'll get to you. I promise.
Sorry, I don't mean to keep talking over you.
I have a middle ground theory about this.
If I might interject for just a second.
No. Not just kidding. Go ahead and pass it. But then it's Jeffrey's turn. Okay, yeah.
No, Jeffrey, you go ahead. I came in late. Go ahead.
So from what Zod just said, from my understanding, because I'm not a Star Trek guy, but from what he's describing, I've seen this before. Like with the live action and the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender movie, when that came out, everyone bashed that because it really wasn't like the characters of the original show and that. But then you go into Teen Titans Go, where they explicitly show like this is not a sequel, this is not in the same continuity as the original animated series, but at the same time, it's just like a show for little kids now, and really, I can't respect that aspect of it. And from what Zod is saying, it seems like he's saying that that really it's trying to be like the middle ground of it. It's trying to be the middle ground, but a little bit lighter, where it's trying to be Star Trek, but more funnier. If I get that correctly,
All
so
right.
so really I get that aspect of it. So if it's like, so really if he's trying to say like, if it's kind of like the sequel trilogy, or at least episodes 8 and 9, then yeah, I can actually understand why he's mad, because as a Star Wars fan, I do understand that.
All right. Well, let's hear from Ambassador now. Thanks, Ambassador, for coming on.
Yeah,
What's your
no
thoughts
problem.
on? I know you're a Trek fan. Brian got master of the stream, got heated, and he's like, "I'm out." Oh, we're definitely going.
I am not a huge Trek fan. I'm more of a moderate. The thing for me is I love good sci-fi, and for me, oftentimes Trek has been good science fiction. You know, here's the thing for me. If they want to do something new with Trek, I'm all for that. But I am tired of them looking backwards. I would love to see.
Oh, I agree.
I would love to see a series. Now, I did not watch Picard, and my main reason for watching Picard is I got advice from people online that I trust who watched Picard and said it wasn't good. 2, I refuse to pay for another streaming service because we already have Disney Plus. We have HBO Max. I am not paying CBS All Access. I would love to see them do something maybe 200 or 300 years in the future in the Trek universe.
That's what they're doing with Discovery season 3.
Oh, really?
Allegedly.
Okay, well, I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, that's why I gotta watch the first 2 seasons. Maybe me and you, Brian, will do a review series. Or
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if we could get. So I would like sci-fi to get into stuff, but he sometimes he's here and he's like he doesn't watch anything new. He's like, I got a DVD today. I'm like, Mr. Freeze.
Well,
would you watch that, Milan? Discovery? Are you interested in Star Trek?
I tried to watch the Discovery first 2 episodes, then I dropped off. Didn't like what I see. But I'm currently watching TNG season 3.
Oh, it's a good series. It's right when it starts picking up.
Star Trek Next Generation.
Yeah, next generation. You won't go wrong. You're in a good spot, and I think you made the right decision with Discovery. You spared yourself the pain, and that's
my favorite Trek. I'm gonna get made fun of. Enterprise. With Scott
Enterprise is great.
I love
Enterprise. Enterprise was off to an amazing start, and it started picking up amazingly, and it got canceled. I love almost everything about it.
No spoilers here, but someone told me the ending, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I skipped the ending. I heard about the spoilers.
The ending was kind of
the last episode.
The very last episode was kind of cringe, but.
Voyager, Sir Nerdlot.
There you go, Sir Nerdlot. Yeah, we talked about Caretaker once. No, I'm a Deep Space Nine fan. I love Deep Space.
Yes.
Well, here's what I want to do on.
Did you watch the documentary? What you left behind? Wasn't it great?
Blues Tech and I, we watched it and we did a review on it on his channel. Phenomenal. I love how it's a 4K battle footage. So good. And then the concept.
I got to see Swamp Thing. I've heard about that.
It looked really good.
Well, I was going to cover some video game stuff, and then we're going to go to get Twitch and watch trailers and stuff, because you could do lots of stuff on Twitch and not get copyright claims. Or if you do, I don't really, whatever. But I had some images saved. I don't know if Ambassador is going to have much to say about. I don't know if you're a gamer, Ambassador, like you buy limited run games and stuff. But these are some announcements.
I am a game fan. I am a gamer. So, but honestly, Max, I've had a long day, so I may not bounce with y'all over there. So,
all right.
The thing I do want to comment on real quick. I don't mean to backtrack on you any, but I just want to comment on something very briefly.
Oh, here's Mr. Freeze.
Sorry, I caught up with writing something on my DeviantArt.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Ambassador. Go ahead. I didn't interrupt. Okay.
No, it's okay. No worries. No worries. When y'all were talking about in terms of HBO Max and Disney Plus and DC and MCU, the comment I will make is this about in terms of Disney Plus and HBO Max. HBO Max has a much stronger catalog of content than Disney Plus does, and that's just a fact. Now, Disney Plus, we all know, launched with Mandalorian, and they had other stuff that was more vintage that you could go and watch. But if you look at just the sheer volume of all the deals that HBO Max made, and Warner Brothers specifically, with Turner Classic Movies, Studio Ghibli, and Adult Swim, and all of that, I'm sorry, HBO Max blows Disney Plus out of the water. And the other thing that I see, and I'll be the first to say it. I am all for a healthy competition between the MCU and the DCEU. I think healthy competition brings people, brings the public, yes, Brian absolutely brings you better product. Now, am I a Marvel fan first and foremost? Yes, I am. But do I want to see the DCEU succeed? Of course. Why? Because I'm a consumer. I want to see good stuff, and I want to see these two titans clash. Pun intended. So that's the comment I wanted to make about that. So, Sci-Fi.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Sci-Fi. Mr. Freeze.
Oh,
are you there?
Sorry, I was getting my coffee.
Coffee. What time is it?
It's decaf.
You're hilarious.
What do you?
And with the mic.
Are you asking about what I was writing, or are you asking like about what the topic you're talking about? Because I missed a lot of it.
I don't know what the hell we were talking about. Sorry, we were talking. Damn it! I lost my train of thought. Ambassador, what were we talking about just now?
You were asking me if I get into like limited runs on games.
Okay, yeah, I was going to talk about games before we head over to Twitch for some trailers.
Well,
oh, you hear that? That's the most excited he's ever been on stream. Oh,
oh. Bringing the heat.
I have a feeling. Only one Ben's movie channel, Sci-Fi. But we'll watch one. You have to make sure it's a good one.
Yeah, well, actually, I have a few other videos that we can react to that aren't Ben's movie channel, but we can do that too.
Okay, so Nerdalot's there, I think, already. Yeah, I got to build up my Twitch, and we can have some fun over there. I don't have to worry about stuff because I want to keep my streams up if I do this kind of stuff on YouTube. But yeah, here's Brian. All right, so. Here's the stuff that I'm really excited about. Actually, good things happening in 2020. Some of you may not know about Shantae. It is a Game Boy Color game. It was going for $400 or $500 because it's so rare. It's by one of my favorite developers, Way Forward. They do some great 2D games. They're re-releasing an actual Game Boy Color cartridge for like $40-$50, which is a big deal if you're into retro collecting. This game, and I have the other ones in the series. It's like a 2D platformer. Okay.
You big old perv.
What? I'm a perv because I buy. Why am I a perv? I didn't design
because of the sexy fairy or genie or whatever that is.
Genie.
Is this like is that like a kids game or is it like
it's a kids game? Thank you very much, Master.
Max, I'm giving you a hard time. Chill, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. She's I get it. I get where you're going, though. I get what you're laying down, Ambassador. Yeah,
I guess.
Kinda, okay, I'm gonna leave that go. Wait for Twitch. No. Here's the best thing, and I strongly suggest if you have a Switch, any viewer, that you pre-order this day one because it's gonna sell out. I buy limited run games. This is one that's gonna go up in price. It's already released digitally. Limited run Castlevania collection.
Ooh.
Pow, pow. Beautiful.
This is amazing.
Beautiful
Now
that they're doing a physical release.
Physical, yes.
Now that's
yes.
that's some nice art right there. I remember
Now,
Castlevania.
are there extras included that are not in the digital release? Because I bought the digital release.
I don't know. Here's another one that I'm super excited for a movie universe that failed, but the game is better than the movie. And I cannot believe this is getting a physical release because the movie bombed so hard. The Mummy Remastered by Way Forward. It's another way. No, what?
Why make a game?
No, they made the game when it came out, and the game is so good. It's already done. This game's existed for years since the movie came out. The game is so good because Way Forward, the same guys that did Shantae, it's getting a physical release. And I'll get through these. I only have 3 more slides. I don't want anyone else hopping off the stream. Here's another one. It's Mega Burst. It's like a Mega Man or shooter. It's getting a limited release. And here's a cool one. Star Wars Racer, Pod Racer.
That was one of the coolest arcade games ever.
Yeah, it's getting
here.
It already is up for pre-order. You better get it quick because some of the limited editions are already sold out. The collectors. I have to get the regular edition. And all those mask people out there that love to wear masks and helmets. Here is an exclusive Black Series Battlefront Stormtrooper helmet on GameStop.com for $100. This is the type that will go up in price if you don't, or if you're interested. So pre-order now because it's limited edition.
I actually saw one and everything. It was actually for the Death Trooper from Rogue One. I was like, "Ooh, dang it! I wish I should have gotten that."
I still like mine.
So I love those Death Troopers.
So we're actually going to end it here. Don't worry, Jeffrey. Even though you just came back on, you're still going to be on the stream. We are just ending it on YouTube. And here is the Twitch again.
Well, before we end it on YouTube, I would like to mention the big news for Godzilla fans that came out today is that there is an image of Godzilla versus Kong that has been released by Playmates because it was on a toy line and it was a picture of Godzilla and King Kong fighting on top of an aircraft carrier.
Oh, you gotta bring that for the next episode, Movie Madness.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm losing viewers. We gotta end it here. Go head over to Twitch. I am ending the stream on YouTube. Go follow us there. Thanks everyone for coming, and we're gonna have some fun on Twitch now. All right.